Do you believe America's retail titans are too massive, too legendary, or too integrated into our lives to ever collapse? Reconsider that. Beneath the surface of our daily routines, a silent retail execution is occurring. 2025 is revealing itself through a steady drumbeat of shuttered doors. Over the past 12 months, thousands of storefronts across this nation have permanently gone dark. Parking lots that once surged on Saturdays are now desolate expanses of cracked asphalt. Essential pillars of the American experience, discount hubs, grocery giants, pharmacies, even fast food staples, are evaporating in ways we haven't witnessed for generations. This isn't merely a calculation of profit and loss. It is a chronicle of the vanishing middle class, the suffocating cost of living, and the growing realization that everyday America is becoming a luxury few can afford. From unrelenting inflation to wage spikes, from organized retail cartels draining the industry of $112 billion to digital shifts that gut local economies, the pressures crushing retailers today transcend any individual brand. Most alarming is that this disintegration isn't happening on the fringes. It is striking the very institutions we rely on most. Companies that nourished us, dressed us, employed us, and anchored our neighborhoods. They are slashing hours, abandoning locations, or prepping for a total exit from suburban and urban landscapes alike. In this countdown, we analyzed the 10 major retail giants struggling most desperately across the United States. We examined their closures, financial hemorrhaging, and what these shifts signal for your daily life. Some of these icons are retreating rapidly. Others are gasping for air. By the time we reach the top spot, you will view your own community through a different lens. Stay tuned, because by the conclusion of this video, you'll identify which brands are fading first, the logic behind the collapse, and why the next wave of closures will hit closer to home than you ever imagined. Number 10. Big Lots. For decades, Big Lots served as the quiet refuge for America's budget-conscious families. It was the destination where a half makeover didn't require a bank loan, a half-price sofa, a bargain rug for the foyer, the small upgrades that made a house feel like a home without depleting a savings account. By 2025, however, that reputation is in ruins. The chain that flourished by helping families maximize their income is now fighting for its own pulse. In 2024 alone, Big Lots liquidated over 500 stores, a massive retreat that became one of the industry's largest wipeouts. By year's end, the corporation sought Chapter 11 protection and announced it would dismantle the remainder of its national presence. For a brand built on the concept of value, the irony is devastating. Big Lots didn't fail because people stopped wanting deals. It failed because even the deals became unaffordable for its core demographic. As rent, insurance, and logistics costs spiked, Big Lots was trapped between soaring overhead and cratering demand. Patrons who once loaded carts with furniture and seasonal kitsch now grab only the basics, paper towels, snacks, or a single household item, and only if the price is right. Inflation didn't just kill the margin, it killed the treasure hunt joy of discount shopping. In many towns, these closures feel like a death in the family. Longtime residents recall aisles where the staff knew their names. Workers describe the shock of arriving to find store closing banners suffocating the windows. Small-town landlords admit that once Big Lots exits, those massive footprints may sit vacant for a decade. We aren't just losing a discount store, we're losing a lifeline for middle and fixed-income Americans already drowning in costs. If discount stores can't survive inflation, what hope is there for the rest? Number 9. Dollar General. Dollar General was the designated safety net for the American working class. It was a place where $5 still bought dinner, bleach, and a moment of relief. For over a decade, they expanded at a breakneck pace, sometimes 3 new stores a day, penetrating rural outposts and forgotten corners that other retailers deemed unworthy. But in 2025, that low-price model has hit a wall. When the cost of survival crushes your customer, cheap stops being a solution. Early in 2024, Dollar General confirmed it would axe roughly 140 underperforming sites, including 96 flagship stores and 45 specialty shops. Simultaneously, executives admitted a terrifying trend. Customers are visiting less, spending less, and ignoring wants entirely. The shelves once filled with impulse buys now watch customers leave with the barest essentials: bread, soap, or cereal if the price hasn't hiked since Tuesday. Their core customer, the lower-income household, has been decimated by rising rents and groceries. When a dollar store no longer feels like a dollar store, it's a symptom of a systemic economic fracture. In many areas, shampoo is now $6. Snacks are $4. Stretching $10 across a week has become a mathematical impossibility. Inside the stores, the strain is visible. Many operate with a skeleton crew. One person serving as cashier, stocker, and security. Shelves stay empty, lights hum, boxes pile up. These aren't just signs of neglect. They're signs of a business model pushed past the breaking point. While they still plan to open stores in affluent areas, the message is clear. The communities that need them most can no longer support them. Number 8. 7-Eleven. For half a century, the 7-Eleven glow meant convenience was never out of reach. It was the pit stop for the midnight shift, the source for emergency medicine, and the only light on when the city slept. But by 2025, that light is dimming. In late 2024, 7 & I Holdings announced the closure of 444 North American stores. This is the largest convenience retreat in recent history. The catalysts are grim: spiking overhead, soaring insurance, and crime levels that make 24-hour retail a liability. Some owners report shoplifting dozens of times a week. Others simply cannot find staff willing to risk an overnight shift. The fallout is tangible. Gates are appearing over windows. Open 24-hour signs are being replaced by midnight curfews. In neighborhoods that relied on these hubs for baby formula or milk, the closure feels like a retreat from the community. Modern American life was built on the myth of infinite convenience, but when the math of staying open fails, the 24/7 dream dies. For seniors and night workers, losing a 7-Eleven isn't an inconvenience, it's a destabilization of their safety. Number 7. Best Buy. Walking into Best Buy once felt like entering the future. Glowing screens, booming speakers, and the latest tech within arm's reach. It was a weekend ritual for families and a proving ground for new gadgets. But in 2025, the blue and yellow giant is receding. Best Buy isn't dying, but it is shrinking. After closing 24 stores in 2024, they plan to axe another 15 in 2025. This reveals a fundamental shift. We still love the gear, but we hate the trip. Most shoppers now showroom, testing the product in store only to buy it on Amazon for $20 less while standing in the aisle. High urban rents and the cost of maintaining massive showrooms have made the physical store a burden. For older generations who want a human to explain a camera or a laptop, the disappearance of specialized staff and physical locations feels like an abandonment. Best Buy is pivoting to automation and digital sales, but as those massive blue boxes vanish, they leave behind a void in the tech landscape that a website cannot fill. Number 6. Subway. Subway was once the national lunchroom. With 27,000 locations, they were more common than gas stations or schools. It was fast, reliable, and omnipresent. But by 2025, the empire is crumbling. In 2024, 7 erased over 600 U.S. shops, dropping below 20,000 stores for the first time in decades. Since its peak, it has lost a staggering 7,600 locations. The problem? Quality has tanked, and sandwich fatigue has set in. Overexpansion forced owners to compete with each other, leading to bankruptcy and burnout. Modern diners want real food, not a repeated formula. Longtime fans say the experience feels tired and impersonal. While the parent company is attempting a refresh with new designs, the decline of a brand that was once the world's largest restaurant chain feels like the end of an era. Number 5. Walgreens. Walgreens was the medical heartbeat of the neighborhood. In rural areas, it was often the only healthcare within 30 miles. But by 2025, that reliability is a memory. The company recently announced a massive retreat, 1,200 stores closing over 3 years. That's 14% of their entire footprint. The pressure is coming from all sides: staffing shortages, rising wages, and rampant theft. In many stores, everything from toothpaste to detergent is behind plexiglass, turning a 5-minute errand into a 20-minute wait for an employee with a key. This security often drives customers away, creating a death spiral. For seniors in the South or Midwest, this means a 20-mile drive for life-saving meds. A pharmacy isn't just a shop, it's a pillar of survival. When Walgreens leaves, it leaves behind a community in crisis. Number 4. Macy's. Macy's was never just a store. It was an Amazonian institution. The holiday windows, the city-size footprints, the red star. It was the theater of the middle class. But by 2025, that theater is closing. A massive restructuring will see 150 locations vanish, including 66 in 2025. This isn't a trimming, it's a total withdrawal from suburban malls. Walking through a Macy's today feels like visiting a museum of a bygone era. Sparse racks, dim lights, and an air of quiet defeat. Online shopping killed the department stores, but the loss of Macy's feels like losing a piece of our cultural history. Number 3. Kroger. Kroger is the backbone of American groceries. It is the grocery anchor of the suburbs. But even this titan is bleeding. Despite growth, the pressure of food inflation and rising labor costs is undeniable. Their $25 billion merger with Albertsons was blocked, leaving hundreds of stores in a state of limbo. Consequently, Kroger has begun quietly consolidating stores in high-cost states like California and Washington. Customers are noticing. They visit less often, buy fewer items, or switch to Aldi. The big store, big inventory model is becoming unsustainable, and the weekly grocery run is becoming a stressful exercise in budgeting. Number 2. Fast food chains. The American rhythm was powered by fast food, quick, cheap, and familiar. But by 2025, that rhythm is broken because fast food is no longer affordable. Prices at McDonald's and Burger King have jumped 40% since 2019. A value meal now costs what a sit-down dinner used to. Families are opting out, and the soul of the experience has been replaced by cold automation. Hundreds of locations are closing as franchise owners struggle with rent and declining traffic. We are witnessing the end of the fast food century, as the ritual becomes a luxury most can no longer justify. Number 1. Walmart. For 50 years, Walmart was the center of the American economy. In small towns, it was the employer, the grocery, and the town square. But even the king is vulnerable in 2025. Despite record revenue, Walmart is facing a silent threat: $112 billion in industry-wide theft. In high-crime areas, stores are closing with zero warning, leaving retail deserts in their wake. When a Walmart dies, the entire town suffers. Jobs vanish, tax bases evaporate, and communities go dark. Walmart's pivot to robotics and AI signals a future with fewer workers and fewer physical stores. For the millions who relied on Walmart as a familiar constant, this transition is terrifying. If the largest retailer on earth is retreating, the retail apocalypse isn't a trend, it's a structural shift in how we live. As these 10 giants fade, the question isn't just about where we will shop. It's about what happens to the communities left behind. Will local shops rise to fill the void, or are we entering an era of permanent retail decline? Stay with us, because the next wave of closures is coming sooner than you think.